Hi everyone, bonjour, qui manière? Moi c'est Nicolas Quignou. I'm Nicolas Quignou. I'm back again on the live chat. Many of my friends or people have seen my previous live chat. I've done some previous live chat with some politicians, musicians, like for example Percy, Michael Sicuen, Sherilyn from Canada. I also had the pleasure as well to meet Brian from Discover the World. Today I have a special guest. Today we're talking about beauty pageant. I will introduce you quickly to Vanessa Bright, who is our guest today. Hi Vanessa.
Hi Nicholas. Hi everyone. Qui manière, tout bien?
Oui, merci. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Thank you.
Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today for the live chat.
You're welcome.
So Vanessa, like I promised yesterday, actually, the live chat will be around 20 minutes. It's just to get to know you, and also for your fans or Mauritians around the world that can help to support you. I have some questions from some people. So who is Vanessa Bright?
Okay, that's quite a loaded question, isn't it? So there's many elements to me. So if you were to say describe me in 5 words, like to just simplify it, I would say personality-wise, I'm somebody who's quite resilient, quite motivated, a go-getter, and ambitious, and also bright, hence my name. So that's me personality-wise. But in a nutshell, what I actually do, I'll start by explaining that I'm in a pageant which is called Mrs. Africa UK. And I'm wearing the sash today, as you can see. During the day, I'm actually a life coach, so that's my profession. And my hobby, but also it's also part of my career, is I'm a soul artist. So I actually can compose, create music. I'm also a singer-songwriter as well. So that's it in a nutshell.
Oh, wow. And Vanessa, can you talk to us about Miss and Mrs. Africa UK? Do you know who nominated you?
Yeah, so I've introduced the sash, and the reason why I'm wearing this is because I'm a finalist for it is a pageant. It is beauty related, but it's not completely all about beauty. There's other elements to it. So this pageant is there to actually break the stereotypes of traditional pageantry, because it's more inclusive to women of diverse backgrounds. In this case, it's diverse African backgrounds because it's Miss Mrs. Africa UK. Also, it includes women who are over 30, which I am, and also different shapes and sizes, and basically just showing the world that beauty has several elements to it. It's not just about appearance, it's about your intelligence, it's also about your confidence, how empowered you are as a woman, how you carry yourself, and also about your social skills. How do you communicate and interact with other people in the world?
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, Vanessa. There was some question earlier about how can we vote for you? Is it a voting system, or how do people can support you?
Yeah, so there is actually voting like a system that's out at the moment to vote for me as a finalist for Mauritius. So I can do all the support I can get. I think the easiest way, there is a link, but I put the link on my website, actually. So there's the link that you've displayed there. But if you want to go to my website, which is www.vanessabright.co.uk, there is actually a huge voting button to make it very clear on the home page. And you can click on that. And it's really quick and simple. It doesn't cost anything. It's no text messages or anything like that. You click on the vote button next to my image, and then that counts as one vote. And that vote goes towards something called the People's Choice Award. So the judges, they might see it, but it's not necessarily the main judging criteria. The judging criteria will be on the grand finale, which I'll discuss in a minute, actually. So.
Wow, that's very inspiring. And also, before we go live, me and Vanessa was having a quick chat. Vanessa was telling me about her passion, her hobbies, and also why about her charities as well. So later on, we will talk more about all the hobbies. But I do have a question, Vanessa, from actually it's from my mum who's watching us.
Hello.
So Lisette is asking you, what are your hobbies?
My hobbies. So as a musician, music is a hobby, even though it's still a career, it's a hobby as well. I'm actually a salsa dancer. I like salsa dancing. So I often go to because salsa is one element, but there are other types of Latin dance as well. Sega dancing I can do as well, right? When I was a child, I used to go to Mauritian parties in the Manchester area because that's where I grew up. And I was never really taught how to dance, but you just pick it up because it's in your blood as a Mauritian. So I love that. And at the grand finale, I will be dancing Sega. So that's confirmed now because we have a choreography which I'll explain about later on about the finals about. But yeah, so those are my hobbies. I also love cooking and baking as well, baking cakes. I'm a bit of a foodie, so I like to eat as well. And I love Mauritian food, and I miss Mauritian food from back home, to be honest. Like, it's not the same, is it? I mean, you can cook it here, but it's not the same quality as the ingredients you get from back home. So, yeah, so those are my main hobbies, but I'm highly creative. I'm a very highly creative being. I also can draw a bit as well, and I can write too. It's like creative writing. So, yeah, those are my main hobbies.
Thank you. And Vanessa, are you able to tell us which Sega you're going to dance, or is it a surprise?
Oh, yeah.
Have you already picked the Sega? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can tell you the track that I've chosen. Mm-hmm. Most people might know it. Maybe the younger generation, not so much. But there's a song called Alalila by Dennis Azor. Yeah,
yeah.
And I think I've chosen that track because I love it. And there's so many other songs, Sega songs, that I love as well. But this specific one, I don't know if people know this, but it was actually #1 in the charts in France many years ago. So so there might be some people who recognize it, who are French residents. So so that's the track, and I have to do a choreography. I honestly haven't figured out what that is yet, so I have to get that together. I might even just make it up because I'm very good at improvising. So I might. And
are you going to wear the Sega dress as well?
I am. Yeah, I am. I'm going to wear.
And for Mauritian people who is in the UK, when is the final again?
Yeah, the final is on the 10th of September, and it's actually in Manchester. So that's where I'm originally from. And the organizer, her name's Yanela. She's also based there. She's the organizer of the Africa pageants. So I think it's, possibly easier for them to coordinate from where they're living. So anyone who is interested in coming along to the final, they can go to my website again. So we provided that earlier, www.vanessabright.co.uk. And there is a link there. There's an image on the first page next to the vote image where you can click on and you can purchase tickets. And the event, it's going to be amazing, right? Because it's in a 5-star hotel in Manchester called the Lowry, named after the artist who did the Matchstick Men. There'll be a 3-course meal, and it's going to be 5-star quality with Prosecco on arrival, and it's very glamorous. So there's a red carpet there, and people will be wearing ball gowns and dinner jackets and suits, etc. And there'll be corporate sponsors that are going to be there looking out for the finalists. Perhaps they might want to have one of them as their brand ambassador, or so it's quite an elite style event. And the tickets are £70, but it's going to be worth every penny for anyone who's in the Manchester area or close by who want to come and support me. I do need more Mauritian supporters because we're just a tiny island, right? And all the other African countries, they've got much larger populations. So it's a lot easier to get the people to vote and people to come along. Whereas with me, it's kind of like there's just over 1 million of us in Mauritius that live there, and then probably a bit more than 1 million that are scattered around the rest of the globe. So yeah, I need every vote and all the support that I can get from every Mauritian out there and their friends as well.
We will, because we're so proud of you. I mean, unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of people will agree or disagree. the beauty pageant has a very negative image in Mauritius. But however, I think people like you who are inspiring leaders, beauty queen, or whatever you do is inspiring other young people to join, or older mature ladies as well to join. So we're
Yes.
really, really proud and happy that you're breaking that stereotypes.
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely. Yeah. I mean, just to give you a bit more info about myself, I mentioned who I am, what I do. My actual and original background is in information technology, and I worked as an account manager for about 12 years within companies like Microsoft, Oracle, etc. So this pageant, it's not just about the physical attributes. It's about having substance as a woman as well, and having that emotional intelligence so that you're able to be empathic with other people, understand certain situations, and also that education isn't just about kind of, you know, what your parents teach you and also, you know, what job you do. It's about you being open-minded, traveling the world, being open-minded to people and their situations. So there's a lot more to it than that, I think, than just the traditional beauty pageants criteria.
Is this your first beauty pageant, Vanessa,
Yeah.
or you done many more?
No, never.
Oh, the first one.
In all honesty, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When I was growing up and I saw the words beauty pageant, I mean, very much like what you said about what Mauritians think about it, I thought the same thing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Is this how the world is portraying women? Really? Is that it? And I was very disappointed in it. And I was never into Barbie dolls as a child. I was actually more of a tomboy. I used to get on my bike and ride around, get dirty in the mud. So not a typical girl at all, but I've changed a lot over the years, become a lot more feminine in that respect. Never applied to a beauty pageant before. And this is why I love this specific pageant, because it's so different to what's out there. And I think generally the beauty pageant industry are changing because they're recognizing that diversity is needed within beauty, because a lot of the beauty out there is kind of unattainable standards, to the point where women are actually physically changing who they actually are at a core level. So they're actually changing their hair, as in not even their hair's real anymore, nails, eyelashes. That's something that I advocate. You know, nothing wrong with that, of course, if that's what you choose to do. No judgment from my part. But I personally want to advocate natural beauty, and enhance what you already have and what you've been given, rather than completely Photoshop yourself on social media, which I don't do. Like, all my pictures of what you see is what you get. So it's like really representing authenticity, which is something that we really need right now, and something that's going to help with mental health issues, because a lot of, especially younger women who are very influenced by what's in the media, you know, they're seeing that, you know, within, you know, outlets like Instagram, Facebook, that, like, I mean, I'm seeing it year by year that generally the images that I'm seeing, they're not real anymore. So you might see an image of a person and they Photoshop themselves to death, literally. Then you meet them in person and they don't look anything like their picture, which is like, oh my gosh, it's kind of, why are you doing this to yourself? You know, just enhance who you are, but you don't need to completely change it. So yeah, I want to be pushing that message to younger females, that it's okay to be you. And even if people don't accept who you are, well, just get a new set of friends and a new set of people that do accept you. I mean, we all go through it as teenagers, right? We all want to fit in when we're younger in our years. We just want to, you know, be part of the crowd. But I mean, I think now we need to start encouraging younger people to be individual and authentic and celebrate who they are, because it's actually your individuality that helps you to succeed. If you see any successful person in life, they haven't followed the crowd, have they? Well, some of them might have to become successful, but anyone who truly stands out, it's because they're authentic and they're different to everyone else. So I feel we really need to start encouraging other people to do that now.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. I must be honest as well. You know, when I asked you your biography, I was like, wow, I was very impressed.
Oh, thank you.
This is so amazing. Can you I don't know if you were able to talk about your soul music, your passion for soul music.
So as I mentioned, music actually became part of my career last year. And my father actually died last year. So my father always told me to study hard, be academic. And he actually said music's not an academic subject, like loads of Mauritian parents would say. You know, you can't do music, stick to your traditional subjects. But when he passed away, that voice in my head saying you can't do music subsided. And then I decided, right, I'm going to start looking into, ways, because during the lockdowns, I channeled a lot of my energy into music because, we couldn't go anywhere. So, social life was non-existent. So I just channeled all my energy into creating music and discovered that I was a singer-songwriter as well at that time. I mean, I've been singing before, but not really, in a serious capacity. But now, I'm actually creating music, so I can compose music, I can produce it. There's very, very few female producers out there as well who actually can use the technology to actually produce music. So that's something I'm toying with, and I'm learning myself as well. So so the music that I do, it's under the soul music umbrella. So for any soul music fans, you can check out my website and see there's quite a lot of music on there, and my YouTube channel as well, listed below. But I've actually, Nicholas, I've actually created a new genre because I consider myself as a pioneer. I like to create new things because that's how we get more excitement in society. It's when something new is created. So I'm a pioneer of a new genre, and it's called, it's actually called free soul. So I'm hoping that, this will catch on, because soul music, as much as I love it, it does sometimes confine you into a certain way of producing music. But with me, I'm highly creative, so I like to use a fusion of lots of different sounds. And I'm hoping at some point to actually do some collaboration with a Mauritian artist as well, who create like a new Sega track today, but not make it too modern where there's practically no lyrics in it, because there's songs out there today where you have like 2 words and then that's it, and it's repeated throughout the whole song. I'm quite old school. I need the actual tracks and the songs that I create to tell a story. It's got to tell a story because it's about people's lives and people's emotions. So the free soul taps into like the deepest part of yourself. You could almost say it's like a spiritual part of yourself, and you create whatever you're tapping into authentically. And whatever sound that comes out from that, there's no judgment on it. It doesn't have to fit into a box. It's like, it's free to do whatever style you want to do. And then, I released that music, and I actually have an album coming out in December the 1st. So if you go to Vanessa Bright on all my socials, you can find me on Facebook. If you search for my name, you'll see me there. And if you go to my website as well, all my socials are on there. All the social media's on there. So you can click and sign up to whatever, social media you prefer. And you'll get updates as well to see, what's happening. So with the Mrs. Africa UK, and also with my music. And also I'm a life coach, so you'll see some information about that as well.
Well, I have a burning question, Vanessa.
Sure.
Who are the artists you collaborated? I mean,
Yeah, so this was listed on my, you probably saw this written on my, probably on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere. So I've actually collaborated with a few celebrity artists from the 1980s. So there's actually a gentleman called Tom Brown. You can Google him if you've not heard of him. He did a song called Funking for Jamaica, which was a hit in the 80s. And we collaborated on a song called Keep Your Spirits High. There's a band called Shack Attack that some of you might have heard of. Usually, like if you're in your 40s and 50s, you perhaps know these, and 60s as well, that you might know these names. There's the lead singer, Jill Sayward, who heard my very first track that's called Moving On, which some of you have heard on social media. And she took that track and did a cover of my version, which I was really surprised about, because usually it's the other way around, isn't it? That you do a cover of the artist that's well known, but it was the opposite way around in this case. And she created her own version of it, which is out there as well. So I was really like honored for her to do that. And then the other artist that I haven't collaborated with musically, but he's promoted my music, and this will be known via the younger generation, is an artist called Neo. He's an R&B artist, and he heard a couple of my tracks that I created, and he put it on a playlist of his. It's called the Neo Stay Lit playlist. So I was really privileged because he's like, you know, he's worldwide famous. Neo is. If you Google him, you'll know who he is. So I was really honored that in such a short space of time of doing music, that my music is actually getting quite a bit of traction and visibility out there. So it just shows to me that as an individual, if you put yourself out there, you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to see your work. But if you kind of sit behind closed doors and feel, oh, you know, we all have our challenges in life. I'm not saying life is easy. We've all got our mental health challenges, right? But regardless of what's going on in your life, maybe even use your creative outlet or whatever it is as a distraction to what's going on, right? And you can channel your energy into that. That's really healing for a person to do that. So that's what I did with the music. And by putting my stuff out there and thinking, what the heck, what have I got to lose? I'll just do it anyway, right? And see what happens. And then as a result of that, I got this feedback from different artists, some well-known artists as well. And so it just goes to show, yeah, just do it, you know, and don't think too much about it, because the mind can talk you out of a lot of things and say, oh, but what if this, what if that? But in reality, you don't really know what's going to happen. No one can predict anything really. 2020's taught us that, right? Hasn't it? Like no one saw COVID coming, didn't they? Right. Well, my point is, put whatever you need to put out there and then see what happens. And what's the worst that can happen? Not really much, to be honest.
That's amazing, Vanessa. I mean, we're running a bit out of time.
Okay.
I hope that next time I can invite you again so that you can share your album. I'm sure a lot of us will want to discover your music. Yeah, I didn't want to put you on spot today to sing, but maybe next time.
Maybe another time I'll do a performance for you. Yeah, with some musicians as well, so we make it live.
Can I? I mean, for me, charities is my passion. Can you talk a bit about your charities? Is it SARSAS?
Yeah, SARSAS. So as part of this pageant competition, we have to raise money for a charity of our choice. Now, I know a lot of people might choose things like Oxfam, like the big charities, but I feel the smaller charities are the ones that often get overlooked. Now, I've chosen a charity, and they're based in Bristol in the UK, called SARSAS. And what that stands for is actually Somerset and Avon Rape and Sexual Abuse Support, right? Because abuse, as you know, like an umbrella term, is very common in this society. And it often gets overlooked. And it's a subject that's very close to my heart. I personally had quite a traumatic upbringing. And I feel I want to give back to this charity in the best way that I can. So how I'm doing this is raising awareness. And you can see on my socials as well that I have a link to Just Giving. And yeah, whatever you can donate. I know money's tight right now for everyone, especially with the energy crisis going on and post-COVID effects as well, of the domino effects of that. But even, you know, if you can donate £1, the women that are going to be helped in this charity are women that perhaps are not listened to and understood when they've gone through this kind of trauma. Often a lot of family and friends don't believe them, which is actually unbelievable, isn't it? When you go to someone with a crisis like this and people just say, sorry, we don't believe it. But I think the reason for that is it's because it's so painful to deal with. People just tend to dismiss it, or they've got their own issues that they're dealing with. But you often feel very isolated when you've gone through this trauma. And often it can happen even within families. And I've actually had quite a few people who've told me this as well, you know, that I've encountered in my life. So it's a taboo subject that gets brushed under the carpet because it could be a family member that who's caused the abuse. So they don't want to bring it to the public. But for me, I'm going to out it because we need to get this out there. Because survivors, you know, I'm a survivor myself, and it's been a very, very tough, challenging journey for me. I'm highly resilient though, so I'm not going to let anything stand in my way regardless. So, you know, little things like, you know, when you become a bit more out there in the limelight, you start to get things like trolls, you know, trolling you, like, and people like that, you know, go ahead. I honestly don't care. I've been through so much trauma that a little troll writing a negative comment is not even going to affect me. So, you know, but I understand that trolling does cause a lot of mental health issues for people online. But, you know, understand that the people that are trolling are very damaged themselves. So when you understand and you have that empathy that they're damaged, then you just look at the comment and think you're coming from a damaged place. So, you know what? It doesn't really matter what you say, really, you know, if you're going to be derogatory. So, yeah, so there's a lot of that, you know, all ties under the mental health umbrella. So going back to what I was saying about survivors, yeah, they need all the help they can get. And SARSAS, they offer a counselling service, which I've personally used as well. And they're absolutely amazing. And you know what? Without them, I don't think I'd be here today. So I don't think I'd even be like on this platform speaking to you. So it's amazing what they've done for me. And we do need more charities like that to support people who have
Thank
gone
you.
through. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa, for being so honest and also sharing about your personal experiences. But however, I'm sure all the Mauritians, we all behind you. Where's the Mauritian flag, Vanessa?
I actually do have it here because I'm going to bring this to the final. So
maybe if I can say it in Creole. Tout ban Mauricien, nous vous vote pour Vanessa. Et dans, attends, on faisait ce link encore. Nous vous avons dans un link là pour voter pour Vanessa. En ce moment, il y en a 6%. Moi, espérer dans 2-3 jours, moi et Vanessa, nous pouvons checker sa website là. Nous espérer ça pour une 20%, 50%. Please, share sa link là pour Vanessa, de faire pour Vanessa, pour aussi ce charities et aussi pour représenter Maurice. It's a big opportunity as well, like for the diaspora, like people like me, Vanessa, all around the world. We do represent Mauritius. Whenever we meet people at work or when we go out, we talk about Mauritius. Sometimes I think we do our own promotion. We say, why don't you go to Mauritius? Go and visit this, go and visit that. So if you vote for Vanessa, you're voting for Mauritius. Vanessa, thank you so much for your time. It was really amazing to hear your stories, to get to know you. And also, I personally, I would say that, you know, when I was talking to you, you have such a positive energy with you. Thank you so much.
And well, thank you so much, Nicholas, for you know, giving this platform. And you know, go ahead and subscribe to Nicholas's channel as well, please, everyone, because you know, you've got valuable content on there for us all. So yeah, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you so much again. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh, it was amazing to meet Vanessa. I'll put again her link, vanessabright.co.uk. Also, please check her YouTube. I was listening to the song from Vanessa. Check her YouTube. I will arrange with Vanessa later on to see if I can invite her again. But please, guys, vote for Vanessa. Thank you so much again, everyone. See you soon. Take care.